Gives us Kokoloko on this one, 13 minutes past 9 Central Africa time. We know that on The Move, we look at the creative world from all lenses every Friday. And today we're going to start with the lens of film, delving into a powerful new African film that's already making waves on the festival circuit. It is KABELO, and it's a searing Sesotho-language debut feature from writer and director Carl Houston McMillan, officially selected for the Joburg Film Festival of 2026. It's an incredible story that can resonate with so many of our African experiences. Stories of freedom, stories of migration, stories of moral ambiguity, but also friendship. And that's what we delve deeper into in this hour of the show. Joining us to unpack this are the two actors that anchor the standout performance, Lebohang Ntsane and award-winning actor Warren Masemola. It's a deeply authentic story where we come from and how we dare to imagine ourselves going. And both these actors are joining us this morning. Lebohang Ntsane, I'll start with you. Good morning and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning and thank you so much for having me and Warren here. Thank you.
Good morning to you as well, Warren Masemola.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having us.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you, but an even bigger pleasure to read a little bit about what this film is about and, you know, how touching it is from all landscapes of who we are as African people, and how one person who feels trapped in a particular environment could also offer what is seen as freedom in that same environment. Lebohang, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about what this film is about.
Thank you so much. So the film is about dreams and desires, and also just wanting to become something in this world. So that's the gist of it, and it's about identity, you know.
Yeah. And essentially, there's a relationship between a young shepherd and a South African fugitive hiding in the village of Lesotho. Of course, you know, the language itself and Lesotho African films aren't as popular on the main circuit. But this is incredible because it can tell the story of these two people. But what it's actually doing is telling a story of the histories that we've been from and the current reality of migration on the African continent and how people may feel. Warren, let's speak about how this film reflects some of our current social realities of millions of young Africans.
Well, I have to say it was not the intention by the producers and the filmmakers at the time, because the rise of it and the sketch of it was not as it is right now. So it was truly not the intention when creating the story. But to talk about it to the story, you find a character played by myself, and the name of the character is Master, as a fugitive in Lesotho and on a journey. So how I put it is like he's going through migration and finds himself an illegal migrant in Lesotho and then immigrates to another country. So he's on a journey, right? And that is the view of the South African character. It's dreams that are similar to the dreams of the character that you find in Lesotho. So both of these characters are driven by their dreams, and they are carrying their dreams together with the challenges that face them, and share a common thing around identity, belonging, survival, and attaining dreams.
Yeah, that sounds like, a pilgrimage of sort that's happening there, Warren. Let's talk about that in terms of the setting in a different country, how that experience has been, because it does kind of also showcase Lesotho.
Oh, it's so beautiful how they wrote it out because the character Master that I play says to the character in Lesotho KABELO, he's got family in this village. And this is why he finds that he could seek refuge in that village in Lesotho. And so we know that South African Sotho-speaking people, majority in history of the country and Lesotho as a country, di a nyalana. So we have Sotho people in South Africa who are originally from Lesotho, and so my character finds himself there. They together, the character speaks Sesotho, but you can hear from the South African one that it is not Sesotho from Lesotho. But he tries to make it sound so well that the Sothos in Lesotho can hear him, and the Sothos in Lesotho also dilute their high-grade Sesotho to accommodate the South Africans speaking this broken Sesotho.
All right, sounds very fun there with that particular small fact. Lebohang, bring you back into the conversation. You know, I love the fact that there's an intermix of talent there and also showcasing the relationship between these two places, Lesotho and South Africa, but that's done through play. And that's the beauty of storytelling, right? It has an ability to actually tell narratives of people, geography, but most important, it's also about identity. What stood out for you on that?
What really stood out for me about identity is that it just can be taken by anybody that wants to take it, you know. It's a thing, you know, sometimes we say it's my identity. No, it's not really your identity. It can always be taken by anybody that wants to take it, and then they can make it their own, and then you become them through them, just snatching it away from you. So it's one of those things that can be taken away, and then it raises the question of, okay, now when you've taken away my identity, what do I do with that? You know, how do I go about that? Now, do I become the very same KABELO I was before, or do I become somebody new? You know, so it becomes around those kind of conversations, and then it's really wonderful to have those questions in place to ask them about what really identity is. You know, can I just give it away just like that? You know.
Well, let's take a break. Stay with us on the line, gentlemen. We'll continue speaking to Lebohang Ntsane and Warren Masemola about this incredible new film titled KABELO.
Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows, catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa is just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Step into the heart of the day on the move with Palisa and Benjamin.
Hey, it's that Friday. We're getting all creative here on The Move. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're looking at a feature film called KABELO that's set in the mountains of Lesotho, examining the rural to urban migration and often unspoken illusion of freedom that's probably attached to where we're broadcasting from here in Johannesburg, South Africa. And we're exploring this feature film and having a wonderful conversation with our guests who are helping us unpack what this film is all about. And that's the beauty of film, right? It can actually look different and it never feels like the same depending on venue, depending on who's in the film. And today we hang out with some fantastic actors, Warren Masemola and Lebohang Ntsane. Lebohang, coming back to you, this relationship that's happening between the two of you seems very divine and kind of like carries the story. Tell us a little bit about your relationship in offline when acting with Warren. How is that there, and what was the chemistry like?
The chemistry was wonderful. It was wonderful. So what happens when I heard some other thing by some other directors a couple of days ago, when they said when you are acting close to a person who is really good at this and they are very talented at this, you have no other way, because they're gonna suck you into it. You have no other way. You gotta be sucked in. So it's exactly what happened with Warren and I. He just sucked me into it, and then it became wonderful. And just learning from him and the other people on set as well. It was amazing. It was really, really, really amazing. And then it just keep on going, and then it gets better with time and relationship of the characters. You get to really, really understand it, because the work environment allows for that to happen, and just being beside him is really, really wonderful. He just sucks you in. You've got no other way.
Warren, I mean, you work in different environments with different actors, different locations, different themes. For you, how do you adapt in those different scenarios? And also, it's great to hear your counterpart saying that you bring something out of them.
My approach is always different, but the foundation is always the same. I always take myself into an environment, adapt into the environment before I bring the character into the environment that is the location that we are shooting at. And so exactly the same thing happened with this film, KABELO. I left South Africa and went to meet Lebohang in Lesotho. And once we met, it was in the evening. We sat around a fireplace, we chat. We had a day before we could start shooting, because then once we started shooting back to back until we finished shooting the project. It was very easy for me, because I if you know me, I love people easily, and especially if I don't know you, I really want to get to know you, and so that I can take something from you and also give you something. And so I found the people in Lesotho to be so accommodating and loving. Small cultural things that I didn't understand about Sotos made sense when I was there. I mean, you see people in Lesotho on the news or on different types of media platforms. You always see them wearing boots and a blanket and a hat, but the sun is out and it looks like it could be like 39 degrees Celsius. But you realize once you're on location that they are higher up in the mountains in altitude. So that is why they wear these blankets. It's because it blocks, it's like a windbreaker. The blanket serves as a windbreaker. The sun, at the same time the sun is out, that head helps protect the sun. They wear ballad lovers, they call them, well, I'm not going to say now, I'll say it another time, because I don't know if BCCSA would allow me to say this way, but they wear ballad lovers. And those ballad lovers is to help keep the jaws warm, because the higher the altitude, the more wind, and you can easily get your teeth in pain because they are freezing cold. So it was a whole lot of cultural exchange, basic things that I enjoyed about being in Lesotho.
I love that. Well, this particular film reflects a lot of themes that are quite vulnerable, right? Shared desperation, identity, and these are the exchanges of vulnerability that you guys have to carry for each other during shooting this film, I'm imagining. But let's speak about that. How were you, Warren, in particular, able to hold space for the vulnerabilities that you experience, shooting this film, as well as those experienced by Lebohang?
It was a first, well, not first, but like it was an up close experience of what immigration is, because before this film, I had never experienced getting out of a country legally, your own country, and then furthermore getting out of another country that you were in illegally to go into another country illegally. So probably takes us back to the question that you raised earlier on about how it fits to the current issues of migration and stuff in Africa, and greatly so much in South Africa. Yo, I even forgot the question. I'm sorry, I got easily carried away.
But I think that actually does answer the question, because just you thinking back about these moments showcases the exact vulnerability I was actually asking about, and you guys holding space for each other in the vulnerable themes of this particular film.
Absolutely, because either than experiencing it for the film, it was a true, real experience, because then Lesotho quickly caught wind that a Warren Masemola is in the country. And so in Lesotho, they have police officers, they call them bo officiri, and then they have soldiers, right? And so they knew that this guy is a South African actor, but what is he doing here? And then later on caught wind that they're shooting a film, but they couldn't find us anywhere because of the sacred locations that we found through our Reiki. And so it really did at some point feel like I was moving around the country as an illegal.
I hear you.
All right,
that also helped
Sure.
forging relationships with Lebohang as a co-actor,
Nice.
with other people like Kiba. Kiba was the art department guy, because he would drive everywhere, and if I was not in front of the camera or on set, then I'd be traveling with Kiba, and I could feel it as an actor, Warren Masemola, and that only benefited the character master in so many ways, on so many levels, to bring it into reality for the performances and the choices made for the character.
All right, so I wish we could continue this one. It sounds so fascinating, and just also the nuances of location, of the people, and interacting with culture, also just cemented as something worthwhile watching. Lebohang, where can we check out KABELO? Can ordinary people also who are listening to the show view this one?
Oh yeah, KABELO is gonna have its first world premiere at Joburg Film Festival, and then it's gonna be on the 5th of March. So we're hoping to get people there to watch the film and then tell us what they think of the film. And also you can check it out. Check out the trailer on YouTube. Just search KABELO the film, then you can check out the trailer there. And also on social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you can just check out KABELO the film, then you will see the trailer there.
All right.
So yeah.
Fantastic. That's how we leave it. Thank you so much, Lebohang Ntsane and Warren Masemola, the two actors in the feature film KABELO. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. See you at the screening.
Fantastic. Will do. It's 9:31 Central African time. Let's quickly move on and we'll get our sports update.